Okay, let's make this one. Making this video. Hello. Okay, the thing is I've not had the time to make any videos lately, so now that I have free time, I'm gonna take the chance. Okay, so this one's about perspectives. Perspectives for characters instead of just environments. Most of the people use perspectives for environments, but they never use for characters itself. So the question is, why are you not using perspectives for characters? But you would use a perspective for a character that's inside an environment, so why aren't you just using it for characters? Regardless, I am basically going to be explaining how to make that, how to make, how to use perspectives on character design or just character poses in this case to give you better results, right? So let's take this one first. This is gonna be a fan art of King from King of Fighters. I'm just gonna explain how I did the perspective idea, right? If you can use a lot of vertical lines like these, right? This is good. The more vertical lines you have, or the more vertical lines you can work with, you're actually simplifying your perspective grid, by the way. So, like, you could go with the crazy fisheye lenses and all that stuff, but I mean, if simple works, why would you want to complicate it? So that's the whole idea. Just, make perspective grids with simple vertical lines. Now, the thing is, however, I am foreshortening this sketch where her lower half is, this area here is quite away from the camera or from the viewpoint, while this leg here is much more closer. So for that, I still have to make the perspective grid a little more dynamic. So that's why I said, okay, my vertical lines are going to remain vertical, but my horizontal lines are going to change. And I'm going to use a 2-point perspective in this case, where one vanishing point is coming from somewhere like, like this. To say this is vanishing point 1. It's coming from this far away, from a distance, like that. And then the second vanishing point is somewhere over here, the far back, and it's coming down this way, right? That's how I basically broken my perspective lines. Just using that, it gives me depth to the plane of the face, to the entire, body as well. Like especially when you're designing a torso, or like drawing a torso, it's actually gonna really help. So yeah, this is one of the ways that you normally want to do perspective lines. So like your initial sketch, it's okay to be rough, and you don't have to draw like really good drawings. Just just make it good enough, basically. So yeah, there you go. Good enough. Right. And that's the eyes, and will be the second eye. Actually, the second eye I can put it in like shadow, so I don't have to draw it. Cheat a bit on that. Like I'm trying to give her like a sharp face, so I'm gonna give that effect. Take your time. You don't have to draw it fast. But like it's more like, how do you say it? Every line matters. So think of it like you've been practicing a lot and your lines have improved over time. That's basically what you're thinking, right? Every line matters. And how this works is that I already have a mental image in my head, like how this overall drawing is going to look like. So that's the reason why I can be very confident in my line work. So like this, like maybe I'll do mistakes here and there, but like You know, those are not really mistakes. Those are more like, oh, I'm just experimenting and trying to figure out whether that works or it doesn't work, right? So that's one way of putting things, right? Like, so the hair is like this one section which I have not planned. I know how our hair design is in games. So, like, you know, I've got references on the other screen and all that. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. So hair is like not designing. So I'm definitely making a mistake, and I'm gonna, you know, I overlooked it, but now I'm beginning to realize she's moving, right? And she's probably spin kicking. So like normally you would jump and you push your leg this way, and then it would be rotating this side, right? That's the whole idea. So her hair is actually gonna fly. I think I did the hair right, but I need to give it more make it feel like it's flowing a bit more. So that's important. Right. So there we go. All this hair like this. This here. And then she's got this. Right. We got this. And this side will be something like this, and then there you go. So this is like a rough sketch, right? I'm probably gonna do one more cleanup, but that's just cleanup. That's when you already have everything in plan, so you don't have to worry about how to draw at that point. That point, it's just execution. Um, it's this when you're planning out your illustration, what matters. Then comes this. Now, how I do the torso in this case is I'm basically breaking it down into like, you know, the boxes. Everyone teaches boxes. Like this is basically the box, right? Roughly speaking. And then I'm breaking it down so then I'm making the rest of the, you know, design. So you got the folds, arms are like cylinders, so like, you know, just design it that way. Like this. Now, this arm is coming forward. So she's got basically, I don't know, the arm coming out in the forward motion. So you got this, you got this, you got this. Right, I'm giving her some folds because she's wearing that, her dress, I mean her top is like that. And this will be where the hand will be, so um you could do boxes again. Right, I'm just thinking where it'll be. Right, these are the stuff that is basically planned after you have you know, like formulated how your grid is going to be like. So like my first step is just figuring out the pose itself and the grid shot. And then the second pass is like figuring out where like the details are supposed to be. And then the third pass will be where I'm like, you know, just creating the cleanup of that sketch. Yes, that takes a lot more time, but you get good results. So it is recommended that you do this results. Kind of feels nice that I'm actually doing a video after a while. I've been meaning to do it for some time, but I'm not getting a lot of time lately. So anyways, right. So there's gonna be folds over here, see? Which is, you know, it's like the cloth is bending over here, right? So it's gonna create folds. So goal is to figure out that. So always look for references around this stuff and like, you know, try to figure out where the folds are gonna be and how it's gonna look like. You know, just understanding that stuff is like really, really important. Um, you know, because this is a part where it's bending, so the folds are going to be created there. But this is the part where it's stretching, so there won't be much folds on the side. You know, best maybe one or two of them, and that's all. Like areas that stretch, no folds. Area that does not stretch, lots of folds. You know, just figure that out. That's it. And give a little shadow depth. It's okay to give that right now because I'm just gonna create one more version. The face is too small, so I am going to extend that a bit. I don't know, maybe, let's see, I think that's my cat. Yeah, it's my cat. Cat's one. Anyways, so, yeah, I'm okay with going a little anime on this. So, you know, exaggerate the features. It's fine. But I'll figure out how. This is basically the figuring out part. So, you know, if I want to exaggerate the features that way, or do I want like something more? You know, I can figure it out in this phase. So, yeah, yeah, I think this is good enough. Nothing too crazy. Maybe I'll. The nose is not looking good. The nose will be here somewhere. Yeah, the nose will be there somewhere. I think we're good with this one. Could do this way, or I could do a lower bridge nose, which is like that simple, but it really defines the shot. Maybe this part is in shadows, so let's just take this cut, and what we'll do is, for now, we'll just create lines and say like, hey, this part's not visible, so there's not really going to be a lot to see. Maybe just you can add a eyeball effect at best to showcase like, oh shit, deadly eyes. Anime glowing eyes. You could do that. You could do that. You could totally do that way. Just to make it look cool. That's it. And then the second arm. Now here's the thing about the second arm. The second arm is actually coming slightly forward. So it's here. Here is one point in the perspective, and the joint is basically creating the second point in perspective, and then finally the wrist is creating the third point in perspective, right? So what I'm doing is I'm basically connecting these points and figuring out that, oh, okay, this is where the arm is moving closer towards the camera, you could say, right? So it makes sense basically, like how you are placing your shot in perspective through that. So that's like one point you can figure out. The thing is, there are a lot of YouTube videos out there that explain perspective, but a lot of these videos don't really explain how to apply it. Um, I genuinely want to speak out, like speak my mind about like how these perspectives are applied, right? Like basically, I'll just break down this entire anatomy through that. It's not the perfect pose, and it's probably not the perfect anatomy, but it's going to get you a job done, right? Then again, it's it's a it's a pose where the character is kind of like bending all over the place. Like, you know, the shoulders raised, um the shoulders raised, and then the whole character's dynamics are like, hey, look, that's not really the way it should be. So yeah, you can take your time and just build it. Like if you're doing this digitally, you can like use the eraser tool as well to create like effects, makes it look better. Probably do this and reduce this side because it looks like it's too elongated, and I don't like elongated. So we got this, which looks better. Yeah, much better. Right, folds done, arms done. We got the feet. Right now, this torso is like here, like this is where the pants are, right? So like I got a clear idea. Oh, that's where the body is going to be, the kind of converging, and where the limbs are basically starting. So limb is like kind of starting here. If I was to break it down, something like this. And what I'm doing is I'm again breaking this into perspective. So this part, see this? It's actually still in 3D plane. All right, and that's where the limbs come in. Now the thing is, she wears a belt, a big belt. So I'm gonna draw the belt that way. Right. Again, folds. If there are folds, the material of this belt is not leather, that's for sure. It's kind of like those I don't know, patron style, entertainer's belt or something like that. I don't know. I don't know who wears that, but yeah. So yeah, there'll be folds and there will be stretches. So gotta figure out where those are. That's part of the design where you have to figure things out. You kind of get the overall look of it. And then comes the feet. Again, I'm using 3D plane. See if I extend this, right? Like, see this? Even the knee itself should feel like it's in the 3D plane, so that's the main goal, right? And then you got this part, which is joining here. Probably I can do this. No, right now it's still being rough because this is the figuring out phase, not the final sketch phase. Final sketch can be cleaned up. You can use the same image and clean up, or you can just draw over, whichever way works. But yeah. Now the folds are gonna move because she's kind of spin kicking or roundhouse kicking. So you can't expect the the trousers, the pants to be like how do you say it? The pants won't be like this. Right? They will be something like this. Because they are moving, they're flowing with the movement that she has. So, I'm taking that into account in my perspectives as well. Yes, this is somehow a perspective lesson, but explaining how to draw characters in perspective, to be fair. Now, the thing is, I wanted to make this like a manga, so like, because they're moving legs or moving feet, so I don't want to draw like, I'm kind of exaggerating, like, hey, look, the feet are moving, so it's going to be looking like this. There you go. So that's all the feet part. Next comes the next part of the leg, which is the one which is coming the closest to the camera. It's kind of blocking this arm as well. And she's basically doing her special, which is Venom Strike. So, I wanted to draw like this like sparks of her flames, fireball that is coming out from her feet. So, yeah. Just wanted to like, just add this to the mix. On this. The fireball is basically gonna help, like, oh, okay. It's gonna give more depth, basically. That's the goal. Alright. This will come here. Right. When we push this, feel free to rotate the canvas. There's no harm in rotating the canvas. On the feet, I'm exaggerating the shape of the feet because anime, and I love that. That's the most fun part in drawing. Like, you can draw realism, but when you exaggerate realism, that's really fun. So there you go. See this? So this is gonna give me the feet. I can do this. And her trousers or pants kind of end here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add more flame elements. So it feels like her legs are like kind of extending. Right, so do that. See, it makes perspectives kind of make your work so easy. Like, I don't have to figure out so much of how each thing is gonna look like when I can use the grid to figure out most of my work. This is where her pants are. A little bit. Right. Then this is where a lot of fire is gonna come out from here. Right, and there's going to be another flame coming on the top. So if I was actually to draw that flame in 3D, which is also a pretty cool thing to do, this is what I'd do. First, set the canvas, reset the canvas. Okay. And this is this part. Right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make the flames. The flames, this is the back side, this is the front side. So what's gonna happen is drawing the front side. Right? And they're kind of like wrapping around like this. Okay, they're kind of like wrapping around. So you gotta show that. That's gonna give the 3D effect or depth to your art. Do that, right? Do that thing. This is the back side. There are little sparks showing like it's going behind. So do that. Just do that. Yeah, don't give up on that shit. Somehow when I work with OBS, my voice, it picks up my voice far muted. I don't know why. So off late I've been teaching myself how to work with DaVinci and improve the noise or improve the sound quality. This is the best I can do so far on a cheap mic and um, a decent computer. To be honest, my computer system's good, but the mic isn't that great. It's okay. It's a cheap mic, does a pretty good job. It's for most cases, and um, honestly, it's better than the other cheap mics. So I would definitely say you could invest in this one if if you are like on a tight budget, or like you're just starting off. You don't really spend a lot of money on creating YouTube videos. You could do this one. You can definitely see that. I got the fire, man. Got the fire going. Yo, let's fire. Let's go. Okay. So you got this. Cleanup. After all this, cleanup is probably gonna be easy. Well, it'll be time consuming. Not gonna lie. All right. You got that. I could definitely add more detail to the flame. There you go. That's fire for real, dude. Okay. And we got this, some line work. Right, you can blend. Basically, the idea is blending the pants and the fire. That's my take on Venom Strike, man. For real, for real. Right. If I was to clean up, I could just clean it up like this, at least for this part. She's got this, what you call it? This kind of thing going on in her. There you go. Yeah, roughly making this. And then she's got another one coming from here, and another one coming from here. It's coming from like this. There you go. Yeah, pretty cool, man. Like it's still rough, like the eyes and everything. Still rough. Like if I was to detail this, let's go. You know what? Let's go. Oh shit, pixels. If I was to detail this, detail. I'll actually give it time. Go into this spot. Again, I'm still making it like anime, so I don't mind exaggerating. But at the same time, I can't make it look bad. Right, like that. Still looks like a... Give her a little feminine feature. So don't make it too sharp. No, soften the edges. And you'll get this part. And reduce this part here. You know, don't hesitate to like draw over again and again and again. At least in this phase, you shouldn't be hesitating because that's how you'll be able to draw it. Then draw this hair. This is where I can... Yeah, let's go. King definitely has her hair flowing this way in fights. Seen plenty, known plenty. Got this. Right. There you go. The first one is kind of done. Alright. Now I'll do the second one. But what I'm going to do is I'll put this in a group. Hide this for now. Move the second one up here. This one's a relatively easier perspective. Okay, but there is a perspective. Okay, let me explain. This is basically a 1-point perspective. At most. Okay. Most of my lines are coming vertical and horizontal, like a grid. However, there is a vanishing point. So you could say the vanishing point would be somewhere around here. This would be where my vanishing point would be. And all my lines are basically coming from this single vanishing point. Right, if I was to roughly draw the grid on this. The reason why you need perspective on this specific scene is for the arms. So these arms here, especially this one, you notice this? This arm? This is going back. So your perspective grids are kind of gonna help. And it helps the face as well. Like, you know. Like not the eyes, but like the overall face. This is basically if I was drawing the face. What's happening? Okay, there you go. Alright. Draw the eyes. I've not really designed this character, so work in progress. Yeah, there you go. And the other eye. A lot of angry people. And the nose. And the mouth. Really angry look. She's also a female character, that's for sure. Not really given her like her hair and overall look, so I'm just gonna do this because I need to do a little research before I give her the design for how she's supposed to look. Okay. Okay. But again, see, here's the thing. Perspectives. So it's like this head, it's, you know, it's all being drawn in perspective. See that? It's all being drawn in perspective. Now she's got this arm here, in front of the head, so it's kind of bigger. So gotta draw that part. But when you have the perspective grid on, which is explaining you how the vanishing points are coming and how the grid is laying itself out, you have a little less difficult time drawing an arm that is extending forward. And that's the goal. See that? So, this. That's part of the shoulder. The neck connecting here. Second neck. Definitely do some changes, that's completely fine. It's your drawing at the end of the day. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, because I drew the rough like this, the final has to be that way. No, it's fine. Do changes. Changes help. Right. Then to the chest area. The shoulder blade. She got like 2 shoulders, 3 actually, in fact, connected. Because she's got 3 arms, man. So there you go. This arm's a little whack because it extends. But again, it's like this. See this? Perspectives. It's helping. It's helping me set up the whole shoulder. Thumb's gonna come here. The second one here. The third one. There you go. Right, that's roughly making the arm. And see again, chest or abdomen is here. Right, and then the arm is following that vanishing point, and it's here. So there is still depth. See that? There's still depth. So there's actually space between her arm, which is in the front, and her torso, which is behind the arm. And that's what matters when you make the perspective. When you make perspective decisions in your drawings, it gives you more visual depth and it improves the drawing altogether. Shoulder. Now this one's coming in front, right? This is where her fold is, right? And then Going this way. Don't hesitate making mistakes, because you're going to learn from them and how to correct them, basically. That matters. One, two, three. Yeah, I'm being very rough. Like the second pass rough. And this is giving me enough detail for the final piece, basically. So yeah. Doing this works. Keep doing it. Shoulder. Like shoulder is also like, if you look at this is basically a shoulder. Right? Even if I'm looking at it in 3D. So yeah, there you go. Shoulder. Save that. Chest coming out. Or there we go. And then this arm is here. Again, it's like if I was to make contour lines on this is how it's going. See that? And this makes your work relatively faster. I was able to sketch this in like, what, 30 minutes? Like the first one with explanation, the second one with explanation. Planning mean. This is the inside, right? This is where the something like that. And then the arm behind. This one's kind of coming close to her, you know, the arm, which is like closing fist. So I actually designed it that way. You will probably take some time when you make these kind of sketches, because your first attempt's always a bad attempt, and it takes a while to figure out. But once you figure it out, it's like really cool, man. So you'll get it. You will get it. You shall be able to do it. Yeah. There you go. Again, rough drawing. So no complaints. And then this one's fairly easy. It's just the torso. I just left it there, which is fine. Comes the third and the final, no, the sixth arm, basically, the final one. This one's kind of like behind it. It's behind this arm here, but it's also at the side, so it's like it's kind of extending outside and then forward. So that's basically what you gotta design it as. Yes, this is what goes on in my mind when I'm drawing. Technical drawing, at least. And then I'm just fantasy. Then we got this. It's always on the inside or the outside, man. It's in the inside. The thumb. Know your thumb. And you got this one. And then you got this one. And then you got the final one. Okay. Right. So this kind of roughly makes a character. It's you'll never get it perfect in your first or second attempt. So it's always advisable to like do this process to figure out where you're going wrong, so that like when you're making the third attempt, you'll realize, oh, those were my mistakes. Let me fix them. Like for example, this fist is too small, man. For real. Make it a little larger. No, it's too big. Probably give some lines, like she's raising the fist or something. There you go. This should give you outcomes for the last one. Basically, I was playing Athena in KOF. I recently picked up KOF 13. So why is this Psycho Soldier? I just wanted to make Athena like the hidden boss for Shadaloo, and Bison's actually the minion who went rogue. Nah, Athena's like kind of disciplining Bison. You know, something like that. Wait 1 minute. I think my system's crashing. Let me try. Oh, there you go. So we will bring this in the middle. Plenty of space. This one's fairly simple because it's just got more area, right? You can already see the grid. When I did the first attempt, I actually got Bison wrong, and I made him too small. And then I realized, no, he's closer to the camera, so he's going to be like super huge, while Athena is going to be like a little away. And I wanted the shot to be like, okay, if Bison is kind of kneeling down, this is where the viewpoint is. You could say it like this. This is where the viewpoint is. So our camera is also looking up. That was the whole idea. So that's why I said like, okay, the vanishing point could be like somewhere behind. You know, this is where somewhere where the vanishing point will be. And the other vanishing, okay, actually I'll mark it. This is where V1, vanishing point 1 will be. And this is somewhere, you could say, back here. Right. And then the lines are kind of like coming this way. You see this? That's where, and again, do this if you're doing 2-point perspectives, which is like really worth it. Always make the grid with your 2 points, and then your third viewpoint doesn't need to have a vanishing point. Rather, try to work with like horizontal or vertical lines. It really helps, trust me. So this is like my eye level. See this? It just makes your shot cool, man. For real. Vertical lines or horizontal lines actually help you create the box, like the guide box, for your characters or your environments. So they really assist. I think the vanishing point won't be here, it'll be somewhere back here. Somewhere here. This one, yeah, I think this one's gonna be somewhere. Yeah, they're kind of away from each other. which is fine. Because back there, it's like kind of broken up, you know, like they conjoin somewhere. Like it's not really in line with the horizon line, basically. I wanted to break that rule where the vanishing points have to be in line with the horizon line. They're more like tilted this way. They're following their own grid, you could say. And this horizon line is basically um, your eyes, like the viewer's eyes. That's where, so that's the eye level, basically. Anywho, when all that is done, like if I was to break down this, see this? This is the box. Zoom out. See that? That's basically what I'm doing. I use the grid to help me find out where or how my head is going to be. And that's how it helps. I want Athena to have like big eyebrows. So that's how it helps. Got this, and you got this line. She's got probably a pout face. Yeah, I'll change the design eventually when I make the final sketch. And then this, actually her hair kind of blocks it. She doesn't need the ears. And she's got this Shadaloo hat. This hat was the main thing, the main concern, because this is kind of breaking and following the grids at the same time. So I have to be very careful in how to make the hat. But yeah, you'll get the overall hat, man. And she's got her hair coming down this way. Probably her hat won't be that big actually. But it was only Tuesday, sir. Sadly, I'm not drawing this on a Tuesday. So, yeah. Very straightforward. Not too fancy. Simple character art. Doesn't have to look extra crazy. But it gets the job done. And that is what you have to do. She's got her arm coming like this. And folding in here. Something like this. Right? Probably thumb is going to be that way. And then the other arm, she's got that schoolgirl outfit, so this is where the other arm is kind of folding in, and you know. Wait, I'm strike. Actually, her arm is folding in, right? It's gonna go inward, so there you go. Now, the next part is the shoulder. I mean, the chest. So basically, this is what you need to understand. This chest is gonna come like this, wrapping around. Remember, it's cloth and it's a solid 3D object, so it's wrapping around. Try doing that. Also, this arm's too big. I realized why I made it small. It was because it has to be extended, right? But it doesn't have to be big. The main reason is it's coming from an away direction. So this is further away than this arm here, right? So this arm can be drawn bigger. That arm doesn't need to be that big. Also, I don't know, it looks very whack, so. All hail anatomy. This is where I fail. Right. Shoulder on this, it's crossing in. A little bit. There you go. I don't know. I don't know, man. You can make a lot of mistakes in life. This is just one of them. There you go. Her hair. There you go. Skirt. The skirt's got those pleats. That's what you call them. I guess. I may be wrong. But yeah, there you go. Right. See that? It just looks good. And then this part, honestly, I'll like just like kind of make this dark. And then I think she's wearing like knee-high socks if I'm correct. I'll have to check the design again. But yeah, there you go. Her legs. The general anatomy process is pretty much the same. It's just that you're including the concept of adding a perspective grid and then trying to do it in a perspective. That's the goal. And when you start doing that, then your drawings just look better, man. They just look better that way. We are almost done with our video. It's not too long. Actually, I reached 1 hour. But I think most of you got the gist of it. This is the same thing, it's just repeat cycle. I wanted to make this like Bison's crying and just do that. Like, don't give that much detail to the head. And then he's got this armor will go like this. See that? It's facing, it's 3D and it's facing towards you know, facing towards Athena. It's facing away from us. Right. This is where the elbow is. Right. Do some folds. Right. Understand how the arm is. It's the cloth that's wrapping around, and this is like he's got that. I forgot that. The thing on the shoulder, like a shoulder pad, made of metal. Right. There you go. See that? It gives detail. Then he's got this. And he's kind of bending, so his back is kind of hunched. So draw it that way. Right. Got a coat coming down. I think he wears a belt. He probably wears a belt somewhere here. So I could do that. I didn't draw it in the sketch, so I could make it. Right. Actually, it won't be. And this part will come like this. See that? It gives me more information, which I didn't have previously. How useful is that? Yeah, he's probably got a belt here, if I'm correct. There you go. And then he's got his coat folding on this. his knee, his boots. He's got that crazy boots now. I forgot what they are. They're like metal kneecaps and everything. Insane stuff. Yeah. This. See that? This is why you need the grid, man. Gives you more information around the stuff. This is where his ankle is gonna come. So this is how his boot is gonna be. And then comes the second one. This one I can do like much less detail. He kind of pushed it backwards while he's pushing this one forward. Very uncomfortable pose, but yeah. One does that. It's got this metal thing going on from what I remember. There you go. See that? This completes my drawing of Athena and Bison, and Bison asking for forgiveness because he has misused the psycho power. After all these years, Athena finally caught him. So Athena is actually the secret boss in Shadowloo's you know, of Shadowloo basically. Who's Bison? Bison's nothing. JP is nothing. It was Athena all along. Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much. Whoever is going to watch this video, I hope it's going to be helpful to you. Do this. Always do this. Use perspectives even for characters. Trust me, it's going to help you build your characters in much better dynamic poses. Don't try to just simply study dynamic poses from poses. Actually understand how they would look in perspective and how they would look in 3D space. That is what matters. Alright, with that, I shall conclude my video and call it a day.